Okay, we're opened up to the next clean page in our math notebooks. Today, we will be, oh, I bumped it. Let me move this. There we go. We are multiplying two fractions. So 8.5 multiply two fractions. There we go. That's clearer. 8.5 multiply two fractions. Give me a thumbs up when you have that written down. Okay. Awesome, you guys. Thank you. And then today's date is 2/9/21. Will, do you have a question?
The same thing, but not converting the whole number and just having it just
Pretty much. We'll do an example problem here once everyone gets the header down. Okay. Awesome, 5th grade. Nice job. Hey, voices. So 8.5 multiply two fractions, and today's date, 2/9/21. Awesome. See a few people finishing up their note, or their header, their title and date. Awesome. Is there anyone who needs more time? All right. We are getting started with an example. Our example today is 2/5 times 3/4. And I know some of you may want to work ahead, but remember, the better notes we take, the better we do with our skills and fractions. So, follow along with my notes. Even if you think you know how to do this, follow along with my notes. So example, 2/5 times 3/4. Okay. Elena, do you need help with something? All right, let's head back to our desk quickly. Voices off, please. Awesome. Does anyone need more time getting this written down? Because there's a lot of talking, so I'm just assuming everyone's done. So if you're done and you're talking, but the people next to you aren't, you could ruin that for the person next to you. Okay, thank you for giving me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So 5th grade, when we have two fractions we're multiplying, we don't have a fraction and a whole number, we have two fractions. Our first step is to multiply the numerators. Since we don't have a whole number, we don't have to turn anything into a fraction because they are already two fractions. So our first step is just to multiply those numerators. So when we do that, oh, I won't move that yet. Step 1 is to multiply the numerators. Raise your hand if you think you can tell me what step 2 is going to be. If step 1 is multiply the numerators, what is step 2 going to be? Elena? Exactly, multiply the denominators. So when I scroll down, it's going to show both of those steps right here. And I'm going to scoot this up so it's a little clearer. So step 1, multiply the numerators. Step 2, multiply the denominators. So you can see I wrote out our problem, 2/5 times 3/4. I multiplied the numerators, so that's our 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then step 2, multiply the denominators. So I took 5 times 4, and that's 20. Oh, put my hand in there so it stays clear. Give me a thumbs up when you have all of this written down. Nice job. Thank you. Yes, Michael.
Is it possible to have an improper fraction when we're multiplying two fractions?
Sometimes it is. When you're multiplying two fractions, it depends on the fraction. Actually, let me think. Because if I was like, actually, unless one of your fractions is like 8/8, for example, I'm not sure you'll ever get an improper fraction. However, So 6/20ths, is that an improper fraction, 5th grade? No. No, because the numerator is smaller than the denominator, but can we still simplify this?
Yeah.
Yep. Step 3, simplify if able. So remember, when we simplify a fraction, that means we are dividing the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So in your head, after you get step 3 written down, think about what number can I divide 6 and 20 by, or what number goes into both 6 and 20. Don't show me. You're doing it in your head. So once you get step 3 written down, think to yourself, what number can I divide 6, the numerator, and 20, the denominator by? All right, does everyone have step 3 written down? Almost. All right, I want you to whisper to the person next to you, what can you divide both 6 and 20 by? All right, there are 2 answers I heard. How many of you think the largest number we can divide 6 and 20 by is 2? All right, how many of you think it's 3? All right, well, 3 can go into 6. Can 3 go into 20 evenly? No. So, 2. So, when we take 6/20ths, we divide our numerator by 2. We divide our denominator by 2. We wind up with 3/10. And I know this is my final answer because I ask, okay, is there anything that can go into both 3 and 10 besides 1? No. So I know this is as simplified as it's going to get. So simplified as it's going to get. Oops, bumped that, sorry. Why are we talking? Yes, Michael.
Is this all that we do?
Then we're going to have some practice problems, and then yes, then it'll be homework time. So, yes, and the more I think about Michael's question, I don't think you guys are ever going to run into an improper fraction when you have 2 fractions, and I'm going to tell you why after we all have this written down. So give me a thumbs up when you have this written down. Awesome. Awesome. Nice. All right. Are you guys ready for me to explain why I don't think you're ever going to have an improper fraction?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do this on a sticky note so I can show you. So let's say we have 1/2 times 1/2. When we write this, 5th grade, we are saying 1/2 of 1/2. So whenever you're multiplying a fraction by a fraction, you're taking a piece of a fraction. Now, fractions are already less than 1, correct? So if we're taking just a piece of something that's already less than 1, is it ever going to be greater than 1? Not really. Because if we're looking at this, let's say let me do the problem. 1/2 times 1/2. Well, 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. And if we look at that, you might be thinking, well, why did we get a smaller number? We're multiplying. Well, 5th grade, that's because if we're talking about 1/2, I hope you're looking up at the smartboard. This is 1/2, right? I've split my circle into half. I've split my pizza into half. Well, I'm talking about a half of a half. So that means one of my halves, I'm then splitting that in half. Now suddenly, I only have a 1/4. So when we multiply 2 fractions together, we're going to get a smaller fraction because we're talking about taking a fraction and then only taking a piece of that fraction. So we're taking a number that's already less than 1 and we're just taking a part of it. So it's not going to be greater than 1. It's going to be smaller than what we started with. So when you see that multiplication symbol with fractions, think of the word of. I need a half of 1/2. So if I split my pie into a half, I'm talking about half of that, which is a fourth. Does that make a little bit of sense? Yeah? Does the picture help a little bit? Yes. So when you see that multiplication symbol, you're basically thinking of the word of. All right. Practice time. Yeah, practice time. Give me a thumbs up when you have your practice section labeled. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, Michael? I think, I want to say it's either 4, it's 5. There are 5. Yep, there are 5. What? You know, Mackenzie, my fifth graders who usually get done pretty quickly, you can create your own practice problems too. Yeah, if you get done with the ones I give you, I want you to create your own on your practice page. Philip, after we get the practice problems written down, okay? So first of all, I am waiting for your voices to be off. All right, so there are 5 problems. One of them you're going to look at and go, whoa, Missy, but trust me, I want you to try it. I think it will be a little easier than you think it will. Yes, I do. Again, I'm waiting for your voices. Okay. Here are practice problems. Oh, calm down. You're fine. Okay. I know it's a little fuzzy up there, so I'm going to read each of them. So number 1 is 5/6 times 1/3. Number 2 is 1/3 times 3/4. Go ahead, Zoe. Yeah. Number 3 is 2/5 of 5/12. Remember what I said about that multiplication symbol standing for a word? 2/5 of 5/12. Hey, don't say it's easy. Number 4, now in parentheses, it's 3/7 plus 2/7. Then outside of the parentheses, we have times 2/3. Then number 5, Number 5, in parentheses, we have 8/9 minus, there's a subtraction symbol, so 8/9 minus 1/3. Then outside of the parentheses, times 3/4. So I would like you to go ahead and get started on these. Voices should be off. If you finish early, like I said, you can create more practice problems for yourself. Otherwise, you can read, write, or draw silently. Go ahead. Again, number 4 is 3/7 plus 2/7 in parentheses. And then outside of the parentheses is times 2/3. And number 5, inside the parentheses is 8/9 minus 1/3. And outside of the parentheses is times 3/4. And when you're ready, solve them.
another moment or two when people are thinking of the practice problem.
Voices should be off unless you are whispering and helping someone with that.
In your seats in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, so 5th grade. Let's take a look at these together. If you have a book that you were reading, put it away. If you have a drawing you were working on or a coloring page, also put it away. We need to focus on these. Capiche? All right. So, Chanel and Addie, get those books put away. Thank you, Philip, for putting your book away. Awesome. Okay. So, our first two, I should say, are just our normal fraction times a fraction. So, if I am multiplying, I'm going to say, okay, 5 times 1 is 5. Then I multiply my denominator. 6 times 3 is 18. Then I ask, is there anything I can divide both 5 and 18 by? No. 5/18 is our final answer. Raise your hand if you got 5/18. Awesome, 5th grade. Now let's look at number 2. So for number 2, multiply my numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, is there anything I can divide 3 and 12 by? Raise your hand if you think there is a number we can divide both 3 and 12 by. There is. So if you don't think there is, think about it. What can you divide 3 and 12 by? Richie? 3. Yes. So if I divide them both by 3, I'm going to put the answer down here that I don't have room. Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3, well, if I count by 3s, I have 3, 6, 9, 12. So 4. So our answer would be 1/4. How many of you at least got 3/12 as your answer? Awesome. How many of you then simplified it to 1/4? Okay, so it's just about recognizing. Awesome. Okay, then we had number 3. Now, 5th grade, when I was showing you my example of 1/2 divided by 1, or times 1/2, I mentioned that a multiplication symbol is the same as saying of. So when we see 2/5 of 5/12, exactly. When you see the word of, it means multiply. So 2/5 times 5/12. So if I do that, 2 times 5 is 10. And then what is 12 times 5? It is 60. 60. Okay, now I have 10/60ths. Can we simplify this?
Yes.
Show me on your hands how many, or what can go into these? Or what can I divide both of them by? Show me on your hands. The largest number that can go into both of these is 10.
Oh yeah,
10.
10.
Because,
I did that, but I forgot one.
yep, 10. We can divide both of these by 10. Because 10 divided by 10 is 1. 60 divided by 10 is 6. 1/6. How many of you got 1/6 as your answer? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So 5th grade, 1 through 5, how did you feel about the first 3 problems? First 3. Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right, hands down. Let's look at our last 2. Zoe, how did you feel about the first 3 problems? Good. Awesome. Okay. Our last 2. So, you may have looked at these and been like, whoa, Missy, we haven't done this yet with multiplying. But I think as I was looking around, it looked like a lot of you were making some really good progress with these. So, in parentheses for both of these problems, we have an addition problem and a subtraction problem. So what do we need to find before we add or subtract fractions? Michael? The least common denominator. Yep. So, of course, we're starting with number 4. If I'm doing that, I'm looking, well, do they already have a common denominator? Yes. Frankie and Mackenzie. So, they already have a common denominator, so I just need to add 3/7 plus 2/7 gets me 5/7. Then, I'm going to bring down the times 2/3. All right, now we have our multiplication problem. So I'll multiply my numerators. 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 3 is 21. Now, 5th grade, is there anything we can divide both 10 and 21 by? No. I mean, besides 1. Besides 1. Yep. Nope, there is not. So, 10/21 is our answer. How many of you got 10/21 or 10 over 21? Awesome. Okay. Philip, are you reading or are you following along? All right. Then we have number 5. So number 5, like Michael told us, we need to find a common denominator. We don't have one right now. So I have a 9 and a 3. Well, my common denominator for those would be 9. 9. Yep. So 8/9 would stay the same. However, when I convert 1/3, 3 times 3 gets me 9. So whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So if I have 8/9 minus 3/9, that gets me 5/9. Then I bring down the times 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to multiply my numerators. 5 times 3 is 15. What is 9 times 4?
36.
It is 36.
And you can also
Fifth grade is, can I simplify 1536?
Yes, you can. By 3.
I didn't ask you by what yet. I can simplify. I can divide both 15 and 36 by 3.
Yeah.
So I will divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5, because 5 times 3 gets me 15. Then 36 divided by 3 is what, Zoe?
12.
It is 12. Now, can I simplify this anymore? No, I can't. So 5/12 is my answer. All right. I'd like you to put your head down or close your eyes, or both. Head down, close your eyes, or both. When I say go, which I haven't yet, when I say go, you're going to show me your level of understanding when it comes to multiplying fractions. And that includes these last two ones where we had some adding and subtracting in there too. Go ahead and show me your level of understanding, 1 through 5. How do you feel about this? 4 is, I can do this on my own. I can show I understand. All right, hands down. Open your eyes. Take out your math workbooks for your homework. You will be opening up to page 485. 485. 485. Voices up. Why are we still talking? Why are we still talking? All right, so we are on page 485. Your homework is number 3, number 6, number 9 through 12, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Then number 20 and number 30. So I'm going to say it again. Number 3. Hey, stop talking. Number 3, number 6, numbers 9 through 12. So that means 9, 10, 11, 12. Number 20 and number 30. Now, if you're thinking, well, Missy, I'm going to get through this really quick, you can complete more of those practice problems on page 485. I show the entire page when we are correcting homework, so you would be able to correct those. If you are someone who likes to challenge themselves, I challenge you to pick some additional ones for you to work on. Mackenzie.
Number 2 is the same as...
We're not doing number 2.
No, I'm doing number 2.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is basically the same as number 5 in our homework.
Oh, nice.
Except it's not split up.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Get started on your homework. Nice job today.